Hey y'all, welcome to my new series, the But God series. And this series is basically going to just be about, my wisdom, some insight that I have, some things that I have learned, and it's just informative, like helping self-help, and I just really want y'all to be better people. Like I really want everyone to win. I want everyone to do good. I want everyone to be able to love themselves when they look in the mirror. I want people to just understand that it's more to life than what meets the surface. Like it's more to life, and I just want to be able to help y'all and help myself too, because I'm still learning. So yeah, like I said, welcome to the But God series. This is episode 1, and by the title, which is God, the God topic. And y'all, I was so anxious about doing this, and y'all, I was stressing about what was going to be my topic. What could I talk about on episode 1? Like it was really stressing me out, y'all. Like I'm not even very lying. And one day I was just sitting there, y'all. When I tell y'all, God put so many things and topics in my spirit, y'all. Like when I tell you, like, look, all my topics is on this little napkin. Like, y'all, like God really came through, and I got so much to talk about now. And yeah, so let's get into the video. So y'all, this is gonna be real raw and uncut. This is me like being so blunt. I'm very blunt. I'm gonna tell you like it is, and I'm gonna say what I feel. And if you can't handle the truth, you probably shouldn't be here. So yeah, but if you're ready to unlock that truth and ready to like really be able to love every part of you and to get right with God and everything, stay freaking tuned, for more episodes to come. Sit back, relax, and chill. Let's get into these topics, okay? So why is God so controversial? And I feel like God is so controversial because people don't understand it. They don't understand it. So when people don't understand something, they tend to challenge it. They also tend to make fun of things that they can't understand, and to challenge things because they don't want to show the lack of knowledge that they have. And God is really a touchy topic because it either ends in arguments why you should believe in God, why people don't believe in God. And it's like, listen, God is very much real, but you're never going to know that because just by me telling you. You're going to have to figure that out yourself. You're going to have to go through life. You're going to have to go through things and realize that God has always been there. Like for me personally, I was a kid. My family has church background. My great-grandfather was a pastor. They went to church or whatever. And it's like, my mother used to pray. And I'm like, girl, she used to try to get us to pray. And it's like, nobody want to pray. It's like no one wants to do that. Like we're kids. Like we want to have fun. We don't want to sit here and just sit and pray. And it's like we didn't really take it serious. And I never understood like why when people like go to church, they cry and they just to me they were doing the most. Like back then I thought they were doing the most. I'm like, what is all this for? Who this for? Who is this for? Like, but it's like once you get older, you can't really, once you get older, you have to find God yourself. It has to be something that happens organically. Like for me, I recently found God, and I recently figured out that he was real, and it was like a epiphany, like a shock of a lifetime for me. And it's all these, how can I say this? It's all these expectations that people think that God has for them, and it's not true. Like some people feel so unworthy. Like, why would God want anything to do with me? I'm not perfect. I'm not this, I'm not that. And I felt like that was a trait given to people by Christians. They feel like you have to be perfect, to be in relation with God, and you really don't. I feel like that's one of the biggest misconceptions, of God, that you have to be perfect. You can't have a past, because in reality, God takes some of the most darkest people and turn them righteous, because that's the whole point. You're not supposed to pick up the righteous and continuously teach them the right way, because I'm pretty sure they already know. Like, you'll be basically, talking for nothing, wasting breath. You're supposed to get into the sinners, get into the people who aren't truly believing in God, so that he can show you why he's real. Because why would he show someone that's already righteous why he's real? Like, I'm pretty sure they already know. You get what I'm saying? And just a lot of people just challenge it. A lot of people just make fun of it because the lack of knowledge that they have and the lack of awareness that they have. Some people have that pride in them, that they don't want to look stupid. They don't want to seem like they have to be the student. When in reality, you have to be the student in order to learn. Because if we knew everything about life, all of this whole stuff, all this would be pointless. And this goes into my next topic. Why God kills the pride and the ego. If he doesn't kill, like, that is one of the most vital steps in your journey with God. I promise you. And it's going to be the hardest one too, because it's like you're purging all of these things that you thought was important, things that you have deemed as worthy, deemed as important, it's not important. And that's so hard, just allowing yourself to fully, come undone and fully be undressed, and I don't mean it literally. I don't mean it literally. But yeah, it's like you have to come literally undone. Like, everything that you have been taught, everything that you've learned, you have to unlearn those things. Like, a lot of people feel like they cannot be vulnerable. A lot of people feel like they can't be the student. A lot of people feel like they are too strong to ask for help. A lot of people feel like they can't tell others how they feel. And a lot of that holds us back as a whole. You're going to be held back and miss so many opportunities because of how strong your pride and ego are. And it's time to let that go. A lot of men miss out on good women, vice versa, because they can't tell the other person how they feel. So they miss out on a good thing because they're too afraid. Just like how a lot of people are suffering in silence because they feel like they can't speak up, or they feel like they can't ask for help. How people are allowing themselves to feel some ways about life and how they should be living because they see how everyone else is living, or what everybody else is doing. And they think that those things are so important, but it's really not. Sometimes, like, the things that we think are important are really just vain. Like, it really has no substance. We just deem them as worthy because that's what we've been shown our whole life. That's what we see around us. And I see how some of y'all are now, like, name dropping God, like, claiming to have God in your life, thanking God and stuff like that. And it's really becoming cool, I guess, to love God now and not be ashamed to, like, call God's name. But some of y'all really aren't living that way. It's just become cool to say that, oh, God loves me and I love God, even though you don't even pray like that. And I'm going to call y'all out because, in order to be in relationship with God, you have to pray every day. You have to seek him out, get into your Bible. I know, because for me, I told my mother I would never read the Bible because I thought it was a bunch of BS. It was fake and all that. But really seeking God, you have to understand how God works and how the character of God. And the Bible really shows you that, and it shows you that you don't have to be perfect, but you have to continuously try. You have to you can't give up because things get hard. You have to have faith. Your faith has to be stronger than anything else. And you can't have faith in God unless you literally seek him out and you learn, you learn his ways. And I just don't like how, like, people always name drop God just to seem more relatable or to get cool points, from others. When it's like, just a couple years ago, no one wanted to praise God. No one wanted to say how much they love God because they didn't want to get made fun of. And it's like, how can you get made fun of by praising God? And that's why pride and ego needs to be dropped, because it's not that serious. God is the higher power, regardless of if y'all want to believe it or you're not, or you don't. He's always going to be here regardless. So yeah, like, really really seek God out and stop just allowing the trends of, this time to get to you. Really take your time out and get to know God, because God really will do wonders and work so many wonders in your life. He will give you things. He will give you more than what you asked for, more than what you expected of him. And that is a blessing. He will give you peace. And y'all know how this world is. And peace is so important. And that's what everybody really needs, some peace. So yeah, stop just doing things because you see people on social media doing. You see your favorite celebrities, influencers, whatever. Stop doing it. Really truly love God for the things that he's done. Really self-reflect and just look and see all the times that God has got you out of any situation that you've ever been in. You're going to see his work. Just sit and self-reflect. And this goes into my next topic. People claiming that they have welcomed God into their life, but their actions speak differently. And y'all know what I'm talking about, because I know some of y'all who do this, where y'all claim to love God and, God has his hand on your life, but it's like, you're still doing the same things. Excuse me. You're still doing the same things that you were been supposed to leave behind. The same bad habits, the same things that are really destructive to your mental, to your emotional health. Like how y'all still out here having sexual intercourse, knowing that you're not supposed to be doing it. Still having boyfriends and not sitting with yourself, because a lot of y'all just jump from relationship to relationship and y'all don't heal yourself. Y'all think messing with 20 different girls and 5 different men is okay, and it's not. It's some things that God is not going to compromise on when it comes to our journeys. We all have different purposes, we all have different paths, but it's some things that God is just not allowing us. When we're in relation with him, he's not going to allow us to do those things. And practicing celibacy is one of those things. Learning to be slow to anger is one of those things. Not running off at the mouth, being petty, is learning how to sit back, chill, and listen and understanding others instead of just listening just to say something back. Or, y'all just have these toxic habits, and it's like y'all still are showcasing those signs. And I know some of y'all know what I'm talking about, and I know all of us are not perfect. I know we're not perfect. I still, when it comes to being, slow to anger, I do have trouble. But I don't really have trouble anymore, but it's like, you just understand that certain things really don't require all that energy, and it takes too much of your energy away and stuff like that. And I just feel like y'all are still carrying y'all same toxic behaviors and claiming that God is not playing about you or whatever. And it's like how y'all be like, oh, God don't play about me, so watch how you treat me. For one, that is just something that came from social media. I really hate that y'all just see things and run with it, because for one, if you're in a relation with God, the last thing you should be worried about is the revenge or the karma that your enemies are going to receive. Because it's like you have your own life, your own path. That's the only thing you should be focusing on is your self-growth and how to blossom and bloom. Like all this, God don't play about me, so watch how you do this, do that. God is not going to just punish people on your behalf. People are already nasty spirits. People are already just nasty, miserable, and mean and stuff like that. So they already had it coming to them. Like, you can't always just focus on the revenge part, or only focusing on God because you think that he's paying back, he's going off on your behalf. And he does, but it's like, it's not about revenge. Sometimes it's okay to just take things how it went and let it go. It's okay to forgive people, because you're not forgiving them for them. You're forgiving them for you and for your sake and your energy, okay? So when it comes to doing all those things and just bad mouthing people and, you know, praying on their downfall. Never pray on anyone's downfall. I don't care how bad they did you, because it's not up to you. You know, it's not up to you, and it's not, God is not doing that because, you know, he wants to pay back your enemies. You know, you should want to uplift them and show them why, the real reason that God has his hand over you, and how much God has favor in you. Because you're going to rise up against any situation that anyone tries to put on you. You know? And another thing is, I feel like a lot of people are claiming to be more spiritual, you know, when it comes to God, so they won't have to truly commit to God. You get what I'm saying? You know, like y'all claim, some of y'all, all of y'all, like y'all be like, who said that we had to do this? Who said that we had to do that? God did. God did. It's like, he's not playing. But yeah, God did. Like, come on now. Like, I understand that y'all feel like y'all want to do whatever, but like, you can't say you love God and, you know, you believe in God when you can't even do the simple things that he tells you to do. Like, how y'all be out here with like 5 different girlfriends, it's kind of like weird to me. Or y'all be trying to like y'all be just trying to do the most, like trying to find a loophole around like the things that God asks you to do, you know? Like, and y'all try to like go on to different religions, you know, that may allow that, and it's kind of like weird, because it's like, oh dang, you know, or, you know, you believe in what you call them, like sun gods or whatever. Like, it's just so weird. Like, why are you so keen on defying God? Like, what is about, you know, sacrificing your old life that scares you so much? Is it the simple fact that you don't want to let it go? Or what? Or the fact that you feel like you need your cake and you want to eat it too? Like, I don't get it. Like, why you don't just allow yourself to submit to God and just be a better person? You know, you feel like you have to fight, you have to go against, you have to rebel against him, just for what? For some, because right now it seems like you're feeding your flesh more than your soul. Some of y'all get into unhappy situations because you want to claim that you don't want to follow the way God has told you to live, you know? And it's like, you don't want to fully commit to him. Why though? Like, what is it about, you know, the things that God asks of you that makes you not truly want to commit? You know, because it does seem scary to like commit to God, but I promise you, like, it's not. It's totally worth it, you know? And it's like, I'm not trying to sway anybody, but it's like, come on now. Like, would you rather be outside the gate or inside the gate? Like, you know, and this goes into my next topic about how God is so patient with us. God is so patient with us because sometimes some people really just don't know better. You know, some people really just don't understand or really truly get, you know, God and stuff like that, or what he stands for. And this goes into like my example. How, you know, when babies are first born, you know, you as a parent, you have to teach them how to talk, how to walk, you know, how to do all these things. And I feel like that's what God does for us. And it doesn't matter what age you are, you know, it's just an example. But it's like, God has to teach you, you know, God has to give you knowledge and awareness, you know, of how he wants you to be, and, you know, how your lifestyle should be. And he's going to convict you, you know, if you shouldn't be doing certain things, you know? Like, you don't know better, so you're not going to do better, you know? But for those who know better and still feel like they can't do better, you have to really sit with yourself in isolation and figure out why is that, what is holding you back. Because honestly, the enemy is real, and he will do anything in his power to get you away from God. But you really have to sit and figure out, why can I not, you know, just do better, and I can't do right by myself? You know, because when you do right by God, you're going to do right by yourself. You know, it's not like God just wants you to do it so like you can join like his like group or whatever. It's not that. You know, God has our best interest in heart. And, you know, sometimes we may not think so because, you know, compared to the things that we want to do and the things that we need to do. what you want to do is way more comfortable than what you need to do. And a lot of y'all really need to get right with the idea of being uncomfortable, because in relation with God, you're going to be uncomfortable a lot, because it's like you got too comfortable in that certain situation, and you wonder why sometimes your life is just not going the way you want it, or you don't feel truly fulfilled in life. You just got to look at your circumstances, look at your environment, look at things around you, and wonder why things are not just going how you want them to go. So yeah, we have to do better. We have to, because we're made in God's image. God wants good, but the best for us. The enemy, he's going to give you what you want, not what you need. And you keep continuously taking what you want and not what you need. It's not going to help you. It's not going to lead you to a right path. It's just going to lead you down a path of destruction. At least with God, he allows you to mess up. He allows you to not be perfect, but he also wants you to continuously get up, and continuously try. Because trying is better than giving up. Trying is better. You're going to have better results when you keep trying, because one day you're going to get it. You know what I'm saying? This topic is, why does bad things continuously happen even after you have been in relation with God and you begin to lose faith in him? Okay? So, like I said, good and evil, the enemy is very real. He's going to place things in your path that God has aligned for you to throw you off from your destiny, delay your destiny, because what is for you is always going to be for you regardless. You may just get it at a later date because you allowed, the enemy to knock you off your path. So you got to find your way back to your path, and God never promised us a sunshine, happy rainbows, gumdrops and gumdrop life, once we commit to him. Because at the end of the day, we have to learn. We have to go through obstacles. We have to go through trials and tribulations, because this is life. This is the life journey. This is what it's here for. This is what it's here for. And I'm really proud of you for getting to this point of the video, because if you stayed this whole time, you really must want to learn. You really must want to be a better person. And I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you, and I love that for you, and I love you. Okay? But anyways, yeah, God never promised us it'll be sunshine and rainbows. We still have to learn. Life is not perfect. We're not perfect. And I just feel like life is messy. And God does his best work when life is messy. How can he get you to believe in him if your life is just perfect? Because what would really be the point of all this? If your life was just so perfect, and, I don't think that's what the main purpose of earth is for your life to be perfect. Maybe that's for the afterlife. You got to think about stuff like that. But you also have to change your perspective on how you view things. Like, some things are done for you, is not being done to you. And that is one of the things that I really had to learn in my journey, is that things are turning for your greater good. Even though it don't feel like it's happy, feel like the things are not happening for you but to you, it's not. You gotta take everything. You can't take everything to heart. Because I know a lot of us don't have a rule book to life, but I promise you, in order to live life, you have to go through lessons. So just take that as to why things happen to you, and the enemy is real, like, don't ever underestimate the enemy, but don't ever give that motherfucker too much credit either. Don't give him too much credit, because he may try to delay things, slow things down for you, but God is a greater God. God is more powerful than that. He cannot be stopped. Your destiny cannot be stopped by a hater, and he's the biggest hater of them all, and I promise you that. There's a situation in my life where I just felt like I lost faith in God. You know, like I continuously prayed, I continuously, you know, asked God about, you know, what I asked him, and it's just like, dang, like, where are you when I really need you? You know, because I really need you right now, and I just feel like you're not answering me. You like, you don't care about me for real. And it's like, it's not even that. And it's so weird because, you know, I had an epiphany, like, dang, the enemy really don't want you to be close to God. You know, he'll try to do his best to like get you away from God. Like, I'm just like, that was put in my spirit, and I don't even know why I think God put that in my spirit, because it's like, hold on, baby, it ain't even like that. It ain't even like that, you know. And I feel like he put that in my spirit for a reason. And then it's so weird because I had seen like this video of like, basically, I'm not sure if it was a Bible story. It might have been, but I can't really remember. But I know the video was basically about like the man praising God, right? And every time he would praise God, he would try to do something. The enemy would try to come in and do something bad, you know. And it's like, and then the man still don't give up his like faith in God. You know, he'll come back and do something else, and then continuously do something else to try to throw you off your path and throw you, you know, toss you away from God, so that you're willing to follow him instead of God. And it's like, and you're willing to shut God out of your life because you just feel like he's not doing, you know, what you need. And sometimes you really gotta discern and really pay attention to the things that the enemy is doing in your life, and, you know, the things that God is doing. The enemy is a master of confusion, a master of deception. You know, he's gonna do anything in his power. And that's how you can tell the difference, because God will never lead you astray. God will never have confusion, because when you're with God, your life seems like it flows. You know, it's in a flow state. You know, God will never lead you to somewhere where you're confused. You know, because he don't want you to be confused, because he wants you to draw closer to him. Why would he confuse you if he wants you to be, you know, in relation with him? Because I feel like God knows that getting humans to truly believe in him, it's kind of difficult, especially because you can't see him, you know. So that's where faith comes in, because you can't see him, you know. You don't know if you should believe in him, you know. Like, just because we don't know where God truly is, you know, some people think he's a man in the sky, some people think he's under the earth. It's just crazy, you know. So no one really exactly knows. And that's why I said earlier, when people don't know, they can challenge it. You know, they tend to like toss it out the window because they feel like it doesn't matter. You know, it's too confusing, it's too much, when it's really not confusing. You know, the enemy literally causes hysteria, and he can really get you through your heart space, through your mind, and stuff like that, which is why you have to be stronger. Because when you're weak in faith, it's easy for the enemy to come and get you. You know, it's easy for him to persuade you to do stuff that you don't want to do. You know, or feel like that you moved away from, because temptation is a mother effer. You know, temptation is so like, it's just so annoying, because like, I'm trying to do better with my life, and here go the temptation. It's like something like your dog and a piece of meat just like being dangled over your face. It's like, no, God just cut me away from that. And now it's like I'm being tempted to go back, and never go back. Never go back. Please don't. You know, and yeah, like, honestly, we really have to find God for ourselves. Like, I promise you, if you look at your life, you really sit down and look back at your life and see the things that you have, the situation you have gotten out of, you know, the things that you have gotten out of, like, things could have been way worse, but they weren't, you know. Always see, because your tests always become testimonies, period, you know. And we do face a lot of pressure, you know, but that's what diamonds are for. That's what a gem is for. Like, you have to go through things and face things. So, because diamonds are so like, are very rich, very like the most sought after, you know, jewel there is, you know. And don't nobody want to steal God's jewels more than the enemy. So come on now. Are you going to really sit here and be dirt, or you going to be a diamond? Like, what is it going to be? You know, and I just feel like God has done a tremendous, like, I can't even say a whole 360, because I don't even feel like I'm done yet. Maybe a 180, And I'm already like feeling good. Like if you knew me before this, you'd be like, dang, you changed so much. Like I know, like if the people from my past ever see this, like, oh, now she want to be talking about this and doing all that, and she used to be like this. Look, check this out, baby. Don't worry about me. Worry about getting your life together so you can get here. Okay? Because y'all are behind right now, and it's time for y'all to catch up. So yeah, and then that's another thing when it comes to having God in your life. People from the past always have something to say or feel like, oh, this, that, and the third, or you changed. Duh, you supposed to change. You're never supposed to stay the same. You're not supposed to be stagnant. You know, I know what I may have done or the way I may have been acting in the past hasn't been like the best. But this is why, you know, you change. This is why you become a better person so you can grow. Always look at it as if you're a flower or you're a tree. You always have to grow. You always have to shed leaves. You always have to get harvested. You always have to bear fruit. Like it's just that. And if people can't understand your growth, you know, 9 times out of 10, they probably already gonna be gone before your in that dark night of the soul phase, you know, that we have to go through. Like that pride and ego, when all that dies off, yeah. So anything that's not serving you, anything that's not going to be put towards your highest good, you know, it gets gone. God makes sure he takes all the trash out. All the trash out. And I feel like right now, my point in life, you know, I just feel amazing. You know, I feel like I can wipe my hands with it. I don't want nothing from the past. I don't want nobody from the past. I don't even care what you have to say. You know, I'm on a good path. I'm on a good, like, I have a great mindset. You know, I change my perspective when needed, and it's amazing, you know? And it's time to get God favor in your life. It's time. Because he gives you that peace that you can't explain. Oh, Lord. He gives you that peace. And it ain't nothing better than having peace. You know, ain't nothing better than having discernment and intuition. Y'all better make sure y'all pray for that. Because, you know, especially on this journey, the enemy will send his people, and they come in the forms of your family members, you know, people out on the street, anybody. Like, they can come in form of anyone, which is why you always have to have your discernment, and you always have to, you know, always remain calm, always be slow to anger, you know, make sure that, you know, the Holy Spirit is always on your tongue, you know, and don't allow yourself to fall into the traps of BS and darkness, you know? Like, before this, like, okay, I know y'all tired of hearing about me, but it's like, before this, I was so depressed. Like, I was living in lack. I was so much lack. So much lack, and it did not make any sense. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you knew me before this, you like, dang. Like, I really haven't been, like, depression is not even a word. It's not even in my vocabulary anymore. Like, when God enters your life, when you have a relationship with God, like, everything just becomes, I don't know, like, life's not going to be perfect, but it's just something about God working inside of you. It reflects on your it reflects on the outside as well. Like, I don't know, like, not saying that things are going to be perfect, but shoot, it's worth it. It's worth it. Like, I don't even know what depression is for real. Like, I feel so amazing, and I just really want all of you beautiful people to feel the same way. Like, this is amazing, and I pray that you all have a blessed day. And if you watch to the end, I love that for you. Like I said earlier, I love that for you. That means you are trying to grow, you're trying to do better for yourself, and I love that for you. You know, and I pray that we're able to take this journey together. You know, if you have any things you would like me to talk about, you can email me, you can comment below. And I just pray that y'all have a blessed day, and that you never allow the enemy to steal your joy, and that you pray. You better pray every day. If you don't read the Bible, at least pray, because somewhere on that path, you know, God is going to lead you to get a Bible or something. You know, like, just pray, y'all. Like, I really want the best for y'all, and I don't want the enemy snatching up no more people, you know. So have a blessed one.